Welcome to the podcast, actor, comedian, producer, and writer, John Lerma. What's going on, man?
Not a lot, man. How are you?
I'm doing awesome. We met at Crunchies Comedy Club. What you been doing recently?
A lot of nothing.
Yeah?
Absolutely nothing. Just been working a lot, man. Yeah,
How for you? You have a life.
Yes,
that's something that we talked about.
Yes, I have a very busy life. I have 3 kids, and a wife, and a job at a restaurant. So when I don't do that, I try to do comedy.
How long you been doing it?
3 years. I hit my 3-year mark back in February. This month. It was this month. Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah.
well, happy anniversary.
Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks.
How'd you get into it?
Honestly, I started doing acting really early on in college. I started off doing film, and then I switched majors into acting. And when I did that, I met a buddy of mine who still does comedy named Dan Curry. He does a lot of comedy all over Michigan, but he runs the Room at Max.
Yep.
Yeah. And my buddy Jason was actually starting doing stand-up after we finished our program together. And then after that, I just kind of thought, like, I went and see shows. I would promote them. I would like all their pages whenever they announced it. So I would just go and see it sometimes. And then I decided that it would be something that I would like to do. So I decided to do that, and it was good. I didn't do it for a while, though. It took me a while to actually, like, get the balls to get up on stage and do something solo. Because when you're acting, you know, it's different. You have a whole production of things, and there's a lot of people helping you out. When you're doing comedy, it's just you. So it took me a minute, but I did it. My first set went good, and then after that, a slew of bombs, and then I decided to keep going because it got me out of my comfort zone.
When you're acting, you're not like writing your own script.
Exactly.
So
yeah.
it makes a huge difference. Like, I think acting is more of a performance, whereas comedy is like you're writing your stuff, you're performing your stuff, and you're editing your, like, it's all you.
Exactly. And there's definitely more of a, I mean, it's you. It's not a facade.
Right. That's the hardest part.
Yeah, exactly. You got to find that persona that works for you and what people connect with. It's very strange. Like, it's fun, but it's a lot of work, and you got to put a lot of work into it. And that's why I don't do a lot of shows, because I can't devote the time, but I want to. But
yeah, people don't realize how hard it actually is. Not just, getting on stage is actually one thing, but
yeah,
it's after you actually, like, the hardest part of stand-up comedy is just getting on stage the first time.
Yeah, the first time's the
hardest part. That's the hardest part. And, like, after that, once you get, like, even if the whole thing is, like, crap and you get one laugh out of it, like, it's just so addicting.
I was really lucky enough that my first show, I was booked at Max because of Dan. He was like, I told him that I wanted to do it. He threw me on, and I was very lucky in that because people really want to get into that room. If you're not from Lansing and you don't know certain people, it's going to be harder to get into the room. But he threw me on my first time, and I planned that sucker out for like 2 months.
Oh, really?
And yeah, I did. I was so nervous. And I did it, and it was like one of the weirdest sets that I've ever done, but it got some of the most laughs that I can remember, like, consistently. Had a lot of people show up, and it was funny, and then people that I didn't know were coming up to me telling me how funny it was, so I was really happy with that. So I went in my second time there, and I bombed so bad, because I got...
Same thing happened to me. Second time I got on stage...
It's rough, man, but I had, like, people feeding me drinks, and then I went on stage, and I totally forgot my set because at the time I didn't have my notes. I was just rehearsing my set and trying to do it like that. So I like paused and I was like, guys, I'm really drunk, so I'm gonna get off stage. That's how it ended. And it was bad.
Yeah, that's bad.
It is bad. It was bad. I was getting laughs before that, but the fact that you forget it and then you don't have your safety net there, the notes. It's rough, man. It's always good to have that. Even if you don't like looking at notes, and I know a lot of people don't, it's always good to have the notes there, just in case, especially for open mics, because what's the point? Like, you're there to brush up your style, you're trying to work on shit, like, you might as well make it like, you might as well make it like practice instead of like, oh, this is my performance. You going like that, you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot. You got to be able to practice in front of people.
Yeah, I've always, like, debated that in my head. I'm like, do I memorize my thing for an open mic? Or do I not memorize it? Yeah. Because if I'm recording myself, then I'll probably memorize it. But, like, if you're going up as consistently as, you know, you should be, which I'm not. No. But, like, I don't know if you can memorize it because it's a lot of different jokes.
No,
different orders. Like,
if you're consistently writing a new joke, Like, every set, I've been trying to do at least 2 new jokes or 2 new bits that I haven't done or maybe haven't done in a while, try to flush them out. And then I'll do old material, see if those, just to like, because I mean, it is a performance. People are there to see something funny.
Yep.
You don't want to leave them high and dry just with your practice material.
No.
So you want to, like, I try to pepper in old stuff with new stuff. If the new stuff works, great, I'll use it again. The old stuff will be there to, like, make them laugh. So half for you, half for them, because I mean, it's not a completely selfish art form. You know, it's not like painting a picture. You gotta, like, it's an interactive thing. So I've always had that mindset, like, I'm there to perform, but it's also practice. And honestly, if you're doing like open mics, try to have some notes. Like, that's for you.
I think that's probably better.
Yeah, exactly. And then if you're doing like a showcase, absolutely, you better be memorized. You better have that brushed up. You better be like,
at that point, like you need to make sure that you're polished and like you're ready to be on that stage.
You've done that set at least 20 hours.
Yes,
you're good to go. Like, that's totally different. Like,
that should be like you've memorized it. Like, you can just be walking down the street and someone's like, "Give me your set," and you should just be able to tell the whole thing. Like, it has to be perfect at that point.
Exactly. That's my mindset. I haven't had the privilege of doing a showcase yet.
Neither have I.
But I definitely would, or being a feature, I should say. And I would definitely be down for that. But it's definitely one of those things that I haven't had time for, and I wish I did. But yeah, it's just like a rehearsal for a play, and then the show goes on.
Exactly.
Like, think of the open mics as a rehearsal for a play, and you're good to go.
How's the longest time you've been on stage? Like, have you just done open mics?
The longest set that I did was actually, it wasn't that long at all. It was honest to God fluke, and it was at an open mic that no longer exists at a bar called Moriarty's. And it was because a lot of comedians dropped, so they gave everybody 10 minutes out of nowhere. And this was when I first started, so I just started slinging my
okay.
Yeah. And to most people, 10 minutes is just 10 minutes. But to a comedian on stage, 10 minutes is a freaking lifetime. And you're like there, like, choking up all the like nerves and everything just to get through it.
Something that sorry to cut you off.
No, it's fine.
Something that I stress to people, that I used to speak very fast when I was on stage, because I didn't know I was talking fast though. And the reason for that is when you're behind the stage and you have a microphone in your hand, if it's stand-up comedy or public speaking of any kind, 1 second of silence lasts forever on stage.
Absolutely.
So
it really does.
And you don't know, like, how to pace yourself until, like, you're watching yourself. Like, if you record yourself and then you rewatch it, you're like, damn, I never stopped talking once. But you don't know that on the stage, because if you just stop talking, you feel like you're, like, wasting so much time, when the reality is it hasn't even been, like, 1 second yet.
Exactly, yeah. To you, it's a longer period of time, but to them, they're just watching you and they're like, it's like they're just waiting. So pacing is everything.
That's true. Just waiting.
Yeah, pacing.
No, it's true.
Yeah, pacing is everything though. And if you take time, sometimes jokes are better told slow. Like, if you get like a build up, especially if the build up is a really good payoff. And that's something that I try to do with, like, my story jokes, because I mean, comedians, finding your style is like one of the hardest things you could do. Like, some people come out with it like with natural talent, and they're like, this is my style, this is how I'm going to do it. And they do, like, one-liners. They realize they're good at it, and they just stick with one-liners. My problem with one-liners is I could write a one-liner, but having that one-liner fall flat, it could kill the whole set. It could kill the momentum of the entire set.
Yeah, it's a you make it or break it, because if it fails, like, you can't recover a one-liner.
No, you absolutely not.
You can recover a story, right? But not a one-liner.
Story, you're able to probably improv it a little bit if you're good at improv, but some people aren't even good at improv, and that's fine, because it's stand-up comedy. You don't need to be good at improv. You just need to be good at, like, structure of a joke.
Yes, I agree.
So
you're also a very likable person on and off the stage. So I found if you no problem. I found, like, if the audience likes you, then you have already surpassed, like, everyone else's expectations, and you're already, like, on their good side. Even if you're not a great comedian, and even if your jokes aren't, like, you know, on par, if they like you and if they like to hear you talk and express yourself, that is, like, people have gone on stage and just gone by on personality alone.
Absolutely. And I've seen that before, and I've been like, man, these people are eating this up. And then but as a comedian, like, the comedy scene, like, as comedians, we want comedy to be comedy, and we want it to be good. So if you're watching that and you're like, man, what does he have that it is? It's the way, like, it's like that thing, the it factor, like, what it is, and that's what it is. It's just being, it's being personable, being so people can, like, relate to it, and, like, they want to be involved with how it is that you are. And, like, and I've had sets. I worked on jokes in the beginning that were a lot of they were, like, really aggressive toward like my kids and stuff. I actually said that I hate my kids starting off with a joke, and that's like the worst. And it was, of course I don't. I love my kids to death, but it was one of those things. It was hyperbole, and I thought maybe it could get a laugh, but it's like nobody likes that shit. And it took me a while to step back and be like, oh yeah, I would hate hearing some guy say that he hates his children, of course, and I wouldn't get laughs for that crap. So I had to like flush through my sets and be like, okay, canning this, never gonna say this crap again. And like really working on how it is that I wanted to be perceived on stage. And that's like something that I think that I can get through. It's like I don't want to be an asshole. And if I am being an asshole, I want it to be self-deprecating. That way it's not offensive to people. Because people can relate to like having that, you know?
I like to be self-deprecating first before I start going off on other people. Because I've seen the opposite. And I'm like, oh dear God, this guy's fucked.
I've seen people turn on the audience so much, and I get it. Like it's a part of their their personality, but also their
character on stage.
Exactly. Yeah. But man, I've seen that like turn on them so bad that it's
I've seen
it's like why it almost feels like wasting your time. Like if you're traveling,
at a certain point, you're like, dude, come on.
Especially for an open mic. Because if you're
right,
you're traveling, right, because I mean, the amount of time that I spend just driving to places and the amount of money that I put into that, I don't want to waste it by like not getting laughs or having the audience hate me. Like that's ridiculous to me. That is a ridiculous notion. I don't want to do that. So watching that happen to some comedians, unless it's like a local bar that they play weekly or something, I could see that happening. Sure, do whatever the hell you want. But when you invest so much time, man, you gotta put a little different like effort into it. You don't just have to be like, you can't have that persona or else you're not going to get laughs, and then people aren't going to like you. You won't get booked.
You won't get any,
like I don't know. It's
people have to like you.
Yeah,
that's the main. Like you don't have. I mean, one thing that I found is because people have asked me like, hey, can you? I have a lot of like public speaking like clubs I'm involved in, and they're like, can you make my speech funnier and can you tell me how to be funny? Like, well, I can't teach you how to be funny.
No, that's
like, you can't teach someone how to be funny. Like I can teach you how to tell a joke. I can teach you how to organize a set. You can teach that stuff.
Yeah,
but you can't teach like that's like how do you teach someone to be a good person? Like you are like
it comes natural. And I really feel. I mean, there are comedy books out there you could read up on how to like structure a joke and then like
but at its core you have to be a funny person.
Absolutely.
Like,
and
if you're not funny, don't do stand-up.
It's true, and a lot of that is like delivery.
Yes. It is.
I remember a comedian that I would do a bunch of shows with, and his material was actually really funny, but his delivery was kind of like lacking.
Yep.
So his funny jokes wouldn't get laughs, and it was just because of his delivery. And I feel like nobody ever told him that. I never told him that, but he would. Sometimes I'd see him have good sets, sometimes I'd see him have bad sets. But I mean, I guess it depends on what the audience wants too. Like if they can handle something being like delivered poorly and still laugh, that's one thing. But I don't know. I don't know. There's a lot of work that goes into it, and honestly, I don't know everything that goes into it to make it great. Because there's even some big names that I've seen, I'll watch and I'll be like, man, this isn't as funny as I wanted it to be.
On Netflix?
Yes.
Oh,
dude.
Because there are some people I'm like, wait, how are you?
They get where they're at.
Yeah, like, wait, you're not that funny. How are you here?
Yeah, and it's because they put the time in, though. I mean, they work. It's not like they don't work. They do. It's just a matter of doing the right thing. And that's when it becomes like, that's when you have to realize that comedy, or stand-up comedy, is a business. And you have to treat it like such. And that's the bottom line. That's why I haven't done features and stuff, because I haven't been able to treat it like a business like I want to, you know? Got a lot on my plate.
Yeah, I think people also forget to have fun with it.
Oh, like, take it too seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that too.
Like because like I said, at its core, you have to be funny and likable. So if you're, I'm not going to say this person's name, but there are certain like the well-known comedians, but no one's going to work with them because I'm like, dude, like you're an asshole. Like every time I go to like I don't open for this guy obviously, but like whenever I see him at a comedy club and he's like he's a decently well-known headliner, but even the clubs don't like him.
Really?
They're just like, no, because it's like you're good at what you do, but you're just an ass to everyone around you. I'm like, I don't.
That's what I'm saying. Like shooting yourself in the foot. Like if you start doing any sort of anything, any sort of business venture. Like, you go into a job interview, you're not going to give them the worst presentation of yourself to get that job.
No, yeah, exactly.
You want to be like a little bit more, you want to give them your absolute best. And that's something that I feel like a lot of comedians forget. The business aspect of it, just trying to do it.
Ego is a big part of it, too.
It's so weird to me, coming from an acting standpoint. Like, in theater, you walk into a theater, like, or even like a room filled with actors, when they're like doing a production of a play, and you're a part of that, and you're acting along with that, they are welcoming. They are inviting. It's inclusive.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. You do that, you go into that, like, at least starting out. I mean, I'm sure professionally some other things happen, like once you get to the top of acting. But in the beginning, when you're just starting out, everyone's very inclusive, everyone's very welcoming. When I started doing comedy, I was really shocked by that shift. And that kind of set me, it kind of put me, like, made me step back. Because I'd walk in, and I would get, like, welcoming at first, but then you, like, I mean, if you have ears, you could hear people talking shit about you 10 feet away, and that's like the type.
They don't hide it either.
They really don't. Like, and if they do, like, they do it. They, like, a lot of the comedians that I've come across, they like to say stuff behind your back, 10 feet away, 20 feet away, but you could hear it. You're like, man. Okay, there's not a lot you can do. Like, what are you going to do? Like, approach them and be like, hey, don't do this. But no, you just have to suck it up and deal with it. But it was very weird. It was very exclusive in comedy. And it was just because you were new or you weren't funny. And instead of, like, helping, like, the comedian that's, like, starting off, I felt like it was, like, pushing him away. It's almost like they didn't want me a part of the scene at first. And I still feel like that. I still feel a little bit a part of the scene just because I'm very guarded because of that. Like, I don't want to get too involved with drama. I don't want to.
Yeah, I agree.
It's just I can't afford that. I can't afford to have that a part of my life. I do comedy for me and, like, trying to, like, create a craft, some sort of something that gets, like, honestly, I wasn't acting for so many years that it was painful not being on stage. That's how much I loved acting. So, like, getting on doing stand up.
It's, like, addicting.
It is addicting. It's very addicting, but it also it gives you so much more. It gives you a different aspect to performing. Like, if you're an actor, and then you step into stand-up comedy, you have another notch under your belt on something that you can do, or even, like, take away from and put it into another performance if you wanted to.
Right. Also, because, like, now you're the director, producer, writer, editor, and now because I think when you write your own stuff, then you can interpret what other people have written for you better.
Exactly.
I think that's what people don't know. Because I haven't, like, now, not to brag, but I was in Batman vs. Superman.
Hey, me too.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
oh, yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah, extra. Did you have a speaking role or no?
No.
Oh, yeah.
Did you?
No, I did not.
Oh, okay.
I was yelling in the background.
Oh, I mean, no, that counts. We'll say that counts.
Yeah, I didn't get the pay for that, but I was yelling in the background. So,
They paid us V-dubs.
Oh, really?
They didn't get you anything?
No, I was in Detroit. Where did you film?
Oh, right here on campus.
Yeah, my wife was a part of that one. Yeah, she did, because we filled out the thing, and I was able to do the two Detroit shoots, like, back to back.
Right, yeah.
But that was fun, and I was, like, outside of the Capitol building when it explodes in the movie.
Oh, okay, that's what's up.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. And you were at the dinner party scene then,
yes,
right?
I was.
Yeah. So anyway, what were you gonna say?
But my small role in that was that I was just I was so excited to be there, by the way.
Yeah.
And there's some cheap assholes on set. I'm gonna call you out right now. The tuxes they gave us, they were fake as hell. Like, it was a zipper.
Yeah.
In the front of it.
Oh, wow.
And then you put, like, a fake tie to cover the zipper. And then, like, you wore, like, this, like, fake ass, like, jacket hoodie, and it looked so real. Yeah. I was like, oh my, I feel like $1 million. But in reality, it's like $6.
It's more like $5,000.
And I was like, what? And then all of a sudden, like, I saw, like, Ben Affleck was just walking down, and I was like,
that's sweet.
Here we go. This is my moment to shine. And I remember in the theaters, I was like, okay, guys, I don't give a damn who wins this fight. The best scene's coming up right here. Here we go, right here.
Yeah.
And you see him walking down, I'm like, all right, here we go. And then it switches, and you don't even see my face.
Oh, no, you were robbed, man. That's not cool.
And I was like, no!
Luckily, you could see me in the movie. if you get the extended cut on the Blu-ray, I saw
the extended cut.
No, you can see me in the regular movie, but
okay.
Yeah, but if you get the extended cut, you could actually see me like standing in line, getting into the where they're protesting and stuff. So you see more of me, and then you can see.
Were you a protester, sir?
Yeah,
nice.
It was sweet, dude. Yeah, I was pretty happy about it. I started a chant. In the movie, you could hear a bunch of people saying, "Go back to your home." That's what I was screaming. I screamed it. They were like, "Come up with a line." The director was like, "Come up with something to scream at Superman." So I started screaming that, and then everyone else did, and I was like, "Yes, trendsetter." That's what I had.
So if I watch the movie, I'll know who started that trend.
Yeah, absolutely, man. You'll see me in the far right corner, right behind Amy Adams. Good time. Good time.
I remember just how excited I was to see myself. You actually like you were like legit part of that movie.
Yeah, man, that sucks that you didn't get to see yourself.
I was so like pissed. Yeah. I remember in the theater I stood up with like my hands up, like, everybody, here we go, like my debut, and then. It just
everyone is probably looking at you like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, man? No, well, but like one of my other friends he wasn't in there, but I guess he was like an extra for like a different scene. So he was like, okay, so I know how they do it, and he was like, is that you? I was like, that's the back of my head. Here we go, and like you just see me like shifting, and then like Batman is like walking this way, my head's turning this way, and I'm like, okay, the fact that I'm gonna make eye contact with him means something's gonna happen. Yeah, and then just. Goes to Alfred. I'm like, fuck you, Alfred.
Oh man. That's not cool. That's sad. My wife actually got like if you watch the movie, you'll see a blonde with like crazy hair pushed back. That's my wife, and she's walking like she's like circling Henry Cavill and Ben Affleck during their conversation
okay. So she was smart.
No, I mean they picked her to do it.
Okay.
Yeah. Whatever. She got more camera time than I did, but I'm not salty about it. Much.
I am.
Yeah, I know.
I'm supposed to be part of that movie.
I know, man. The whole tux thing though, you got to think they have a budget. Like if they bought.
You can't just get real ones for everybody. Yeah, but I'm like,
that'd be insane if they actually. You imagine the budget, like probably.
I think. Looking back at it, like I did discuss this with a few other people. Like maybe they didn't include me because I tried to steal stuff from the set. Not like
trying to steal.
We kept moving this camera. Shit.
Oh shit! I did.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like we're gonna pause it for 1 second, people. Oh shit! All right, wait, that's good enough. I guess like we keep hitting the table.
Oh, I'll keep my arms down.
Oh, it's me too. Whatever.
Yeah.
But yes, I did try to steal something from the set, and I failed. Like,
what did you try to steal?
I wanted to just steal, like, one thing I was looking for was, like, anything, like, Batman related, because he's my favorite superhero, and I was like, the scene I was filming, there was, like, nothing there. Yeah. So I was like, I just started getting desperate. I'm like, all right, I'm going to take, like, the cup that Lex was using to, like, give a toast with, or I was like, I want to take just... there was, like, so there were, like, seats all around, like, where the actors would be sitting.
Yeah.
And there were just different like notes and stuff. I was like, all right, I'm gonna take that script. And I tried my best because like it wasn't like
they caught you.
Well, it wasn't like a full like thick script. It was just like maybe 2-3 pages. Because I guess people do that all the time now. So they don't give out the full ones anymore.
It's very illegal. But what?
Yes. I realize it. But what I wanted was I wanted to see Pary Chahal looks at Ben Affleck. I just want to see it on the page.
You thought that they would write that in for you?
I really hope they did.
Oh, man.
Okay, like, I ended up just being Indian Man 1 in the extras.
Shut the hell up.
I was like, fuck.
Wait, you actually looked at the extra list?
Yeah.
Dude, I gotta look at that extra list. I haven't done that yet. I need to do that.
Because I wanted to see my name. I was like, hey, man, I was part of the movie, and I don't see my name up here.
Yeah.
Like, I just got, like, dude number 1, or, like, something like that. Or, like, I don't know what number I was, but I was, like, something in there. I was like, hey, where am I? And they're like, oh, well, for extras, we just do this for you guys unless you have a speaking role, then they might give you something, like, different. And I was like, I can talk.
Yeah.
Adjusting everything, like, I'm a good talker. I can talk my ass off.
Yeah.
And then once they said no, I was like, you know what, screw you guys. Like, give me that. I tried taking it, and no one actually stopped me, per se, but whenever I put my hand on it, they just had people, like, give me the glare.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, man. No, the DPs were on it.
Oh, gosh.
They were on it. They were so stringent about what it was that you could do and how you could move. Like, I mean, we worked with a lot of people, a lot of extras. Mm-hmm. So they were like, move here, move here, move here. Like, within like 6 inches of each other. Like, and if we moved even a little bit, they would notice and be like, nope, go back to where you were before in the last scene. And there would be like so much downtime. I wasn't anticipating how much downtime.
Yes, me neither.
That was insane.
I thought it was like you go there for an hour and you leave filming. No, we were there for like 8 hours.
Dude, I was there. It was outside, and we shot up against a huge blue screen. Mm-hmm. It was cool watching that, like seeing how they went into production. That was rewarding enough. But we were there for like, 12 hours one day, and it rained, so we got paid extra for what they call wet work.
Yeah,
like if
work.
Yeah, if you get wet, you get more money. And that's cool.
Oh.
Yeah. So I
would have abused the shit out of that rule if I was there.
Dude, yeah, like just dousing myself with water.
Yeah.
More money. No, it was really cool. But the only person that I saw Amy Adams. She was like, of course, she was there. That was her thing. But
she was part of the movie.
Yeah, but it was like her scene. And then
okay.
But Superman, I saw Henry Cavill walk out in a Superman suit, and I was like, oh my god,
that's really what's up.
It really was cool, and like everyone was like, holy crap, because like on screen, like he's a big dude. In person, it was amazing. He was bigger than everybody else.
Really?
Everybody else.
Because he's big, like, on the screen.
I guess he's only, like, 6'1", but, like
but jacked.
Yeah,
like,
he's jacked.
Dang.
When seeing him in Superman, it was like, holy crap, that's Superman. Like that's how I felt. I wasn't like, that's Henry Cavill. I was like, damn, that's Superman. That's cool. Except he didn't have a cape. What he had... no, they add that later.
They CGI'd the cape?
Yeah.
What? Okay.
So what everybody saw was just a big zipper in the back and a dangly little, like, thing on the back. Right by his ass, there's a dangly little zipper, and it's like, man... Superman does suck. Like, that's what came into my head. It's like, this isn't cool.
Like, you lied to me.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you can't give him a cape. You can't make him a sweet cape. I don't know. But it was cool, like, seeing, like, him in a Superman thing. And the scene that they had him shoot, we were watching him, like, do it over and over. And all he had to do was, like, look up into the sky real slow and make a Superman face, and he had to, like, watching him do that, it's like, oh god, this is taking way too long. That's all we were all thinking, like,
how many takes would that be?
I think they shot that like maybe 4 times. It was in quick succession. He nailed it. He did fine, but it's funny watching that.
Yeah,
like from afar.
He's probably practicing that at home, like in the mirror.
Exactly. Like, how would Oh yeah, that's right. That's perfect. Like, but watching it from afar, it's silly. It's the silliest thing you can see.
How weird would that be? It's like, what would Superman do? It's like, oh wait, I know what he'll do, and then like you make it happen.
Yeah, and then you
like, I am Superman. Shit.
Exactly. It's like, oh, I can do anything, and they'll be like, oh yeah, Superman's being weird right now. Like, that's all that would be. But it was a good time. Yeah.
Yeah, now I think I fully understand why I wasn't, because I tried to get videos of it too. But like, it wasn't. I did get some, by the way. Like, not while I was in the building, but after they asked us all to leave, and I was like, hell no. Pulled out my phone. I said, here we go. I'm just making sure. The video I got was...
You're the worst kind of freaking extra. They don't want you there.
No.
They don't want you there, man.
But I was like, I need to get something to show people that I was really there.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, no one's going to believe me. So I kept trying to steal stuff, and I was like, dang.
That's such like a really niche thing to lie about. It's like, guys.
What? That's what I'm saying. I was like, yo, who makes that up?
Yeah.
Like, I told you the scene I was in. I was like, how would I know that before
so
the
people
movie?
Really didn't believe that you were in it after you told...
The only person who believed me...
Show them the check. Show them the check. The check stuff. You should have said that.
So what happened was, like, the person who believed me was someone who was there. Like, physically, there, like, they saw me walk in the building. I'm like, hey, make sure you film me walking in there so people know. Because they don't let anyone in, they only let the exclusive. So I walked in, and my friend backed me up. He's like, yeah, he did actually go in the building. They let him in. And they had us, like, turn off our phones. We couldn't even bring them in.
Yeah. No, you had to, like, give it to... That was nerve-wracking.
Oh, yeah, that...
Like, you kept handing over my phone, like... It's safe, right? Like,
that's what, because there's just like a pile
of phones.
Yep. So I was like,
that's so
how do you know which one's mine? It's like, oh, it's the iPhone. No.
Come on.
Wait, dude.
Yeah.
But so when we left, like they gave us our phone, and I'm like, I'm not done with this. I started filming, and I did get a scene. I filmed like Wonder Woman, like Gal Gadot. I filmed her walking into the purple like Bugatti and just like driving down.
Dope.
And like I got it on my iPhone and I was like, yeah.
Yeah,
let's go.
My buddy was he was the one that actually opened the door for Gal Gadot.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I got him too.
yeah. So you got a picture of that too.
I didn't see her the entire time. She was in the scene. I didn't see her at all.
I know.
I was surprised. I'm like, wait. Because like when I watched the movie, I saw she was there like the entire time. But I was like, I didn't see you once.
Yeah, my wife was filming the scene. She came home that night. She was like, yeah, I got to see Wonder Woman. I was like, oh yeah, how was it? She was like, prettiest bitch I've ever seen in my life.
She was beautiful. Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah, like I was like, oh, cool.
I tried to, I'm a pretty bad extra, but I tried to talk to people too. The one thing I didn't do was like I didn't purposefully like act out so I can like be noticed in the movie.
Yeah,
because that's where I drew the line. Because I'm like, because then they would really just kick me out and I wouldn't be able to steal anything.
Yeah. See, I kind of did that.
Yeah, but they ran with it.
Yeah, apparently, because I was very subtle about it. I wasn't over the top about it. But since you said that you like did all of this, I guess I could tell you. I've told this on stage a couple of times. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to say the names or anything like that just to protect myself.
Yeah.
But I pissed off an actress. One of them.
Really?
Yes. Very badly.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh my God! I gotta hear this.
Okay, I asked her, and I was totally joking.
Okay, wait. Well, this is how the story begins, people. I pissed her off. I was joking, but
it's true. Okay, this is all I asked. I said, "Hey, who do you think's gonna be the better Batman then, Ben Affleck or Christian Bale?"
Okay.
And I was like, from a professional standpoint. And she looked at me and she said, professionally, she went stone cold. She was like, professionally, I can't answer that.
Oh,
and then
shit.
Smiled. And you know how, like, I mean, right away I was like, oh, shit.
We're down.
We're down, sorry.
That's what, they know what I look like.
Yeah.
They don't give a damn about me.
All right.
They know me. Go ahead.
Yeah, they said, she like smiled. And it was one of those smiles that's like, fuck you.
Yep.
And then I was like, oh no. She's like, and then she walked away. I was like, oh no. And we were in a group of extras, but everybody was talking to this actress, and she was very nice. And then she did that.
Not to you.
Not to me. And then every other extra around me was like, boo! How could you ask her this? And I was like, what? And I swear I heard somebody in the background, like, kick him in the dick. And I was like, dude, what the hell?
I was like, wait, we were all thinking it.
Yeah, it was really harmless. And I thought that my delivery of asking the question was like clear that it was a joke. Like I was like, like, and she was like, damn, I said her name.
I just realized that. I'm like, usually we wouldn't do this, but I'm gonna edit that part out.
Thank you.
Just so they don't.
That out. I appreciate that.
Because you specifically said I don't want to say her name, but
I didn't mean to.
It will not be there.
Yes, thank you. So anyway,
I can't believe you pissed her off.
Yeah, I did.
That's an accomplishment.
I didn't see it that way at first.
She did.
That was day one. Right?
Oh my goodness.
That was like at the end of day one. Day two, I walk by and I hear this actress putting on her makeup to the makeup lady. Like I'm walking by and she's like, see that guy? I fucking hate that guy. And I was like, I thought it was in my head. And then I'm standing next to another actor and they cleared out a bunch of extras. And I got to stay with another group that I was a part of. And we were just standing there watching. And a lot of the extras were cool. We were just bullshitting the whole time. And then I out of my corner of my eye, noticed this actress glaring at me, not even kind of subtly, glaring at me, and
he was not trying to hide it,
dude. I was very paranoid, and I was like, "Hey, man, will you take a look? Tell me if she's staring
still." Yeah.
This dude was on my left. She's over in the far right, maybe 25 yards away, and he did that. He leaned back. And looked around a little bit and then looked at her and I was like, yeah, man, she's staring at me. And I was like,
don't look back.
Shit. I was like, damn. I just kind of looked away. It was so uncomfortable and I felt really bad. But then on the shuttle, because we had taken from where all the extras came in to where the actual shoot was, we had to take a shuttle.
Right.
So we're on the shuttle bus and we're going back, and this guy that was next to me the whole time, he comes up and he's like, hey man, hey, what the heck did you say to so-and-so? And I was like, what are you talking about?
Some random person?
Yeah, well, another extra that I've been talking to. And I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, dude, I have a friend of mine who directed a movie that I was a part of. He's acting in this movie. And he said that so-and-so is telling everybody on set.
Oh my gosh.
that they asked her who the better Batman would be. And I was like, dude.
What makes you?
Yeah, and I was like, why would you assume it was me? And he was like, well, they said that he had black hair that was combed back, kind of an ugly version of Henry Cavill. And I was like, damn! I was like, why would you say it's me, bro? Like, I just met you. But yeah, he was talking about me. So I was like, we're leaving the night, and I was like, I'm driving home, and this is from Detroit to Lansing, so I had an hour to contemplate. So finally I called my wife, and I was like, babe, I told him
I'm never gonna make it in Hollywood.
Yeah, dude, no. It's kind of like one of those things where if I do, it's gonna be on a commercial in the background. Like that'll be me if I go there. And so I'm talking to my wife, and she was like, "Well, at least you made an impression on her." And then I was like, "Oh, damn, I did. I made an impression on her, and now she has strong feelings about me. Like this is a win."
You got to imagine. Like, a part of her brain is dedicated to you.
Yeah, exactly. All that time, that little joke that she couldn't just take has become a part of her brain. And she will remember me.
Yeah.
If she ever saw me again, she'd be like, you look familiar. And I'll be like, yeah, I know. And then just walk away. Like, I wouldn't even give her the time of day because I was so hurt. That messed up. See, to her, that was just a couple minutes. But to me, that was a period of my life that I won't be able to forget now. Just because, Hollywood, rich and famous. I don't know.
You definitely, like, if she ever sees you again, it's like, hey, do I know you from somewhere? In my professional opinion, I can't say you do.
Yeah, exactly. That'll have to be the response.
You gotta make sure, like, adjust your tie as you say that.
I won't even have a tie on. Like, yes. Just stuck on my shirt. Yeah, man. That's my experience.
That is our time.
Oh, thank you, man.
Thank you for coming out, man.
Absolutely. It was fun being here.
You should definitely come back next time.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, thank you, everybody. Stay fresh and stay golden.